I want to very, very quickly talk you through all the things, or some of the things, because if I talk about all the things we've been up to in the last 1 year, we will not live here, and I mean it. But I will just talk you through some of the things that we've been up to over the past 1 year since we had our first Communiqué IRL event at the British Council just down the road on Thompson Street, Ikoyi here. And then we are here today. So a lot has happened in 1 year. And I think we are proof of what is possible when there is an idea and you just keep driving at it with absolute focus, tenacity, and resilience. Okay, and we'll start from our media product. So, like Debbie mentioned earlier, Communiqué started as a newsletter in May 2020. Towards the end of lockdown, at least here in Nigeria, I was a little bit bored. I had a day job, but I was very bored and I wanted to do something different. So I started a newsletter. May 15th, 2020, or May 16th, 2020, I published an essay titled Introducing Communiqué Zero. That's where all of this started from 6 years ago. And now we've had our flagship newsletter. So between March last year and this year, we've had 45 editions of the newsletter consistently every week. Well, except when we went on break in December. Every week we've published an original long-form essay. If you read Communiqué, you know that this is not the type of work that you will see anywhere else. We don't regurgitate, we don't aggregate. It's original stories, deeply researched, deeply reported every week. We've also refined our focus. So again, if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that there are some things that we would have talked about in the past that we no longer talk about again because we don't think we are best qualified to talk about those things. We think that there are other people outside who can provide better insights. So we focused on media and journalism, we focused on film, we focused on music and the creator economy. Why this? Because these are the media adjacent parts of the creative economy. Again, this is our focus as a media brand and a newsletter brand. And then after the media products, we've also ramped up our social media videos. So again, if you follow us on social media, you'll notice that we've done a lot more videos in the past 1 year than before. And that is largely because the team has expanded, but also we do the hard work of meeting our audience where they are. We know that not everyone is going to sit and read a 1,200 word essay every Tuesday, right? So there are people who would much rather watch videos on social. So without dumbing down the insights and the quality of insights, we've ramped up our social video production. And another thing that we've done is we've seen this success with the flagship newsletter. So that's the one that goes out every Tuesday. And then on Wednesdays, we have what we call the off script. And the idea behind the off script is to connect you with the people. So while the flagship is about the strategy, the tactics, the trends, and all those big ideas, sometimes micro, sometimes macro, but it's less personal. We have the off script. And the idea behind the off script is to introduce you to the people who are building. Again, some of these people are people who have never been covered anywhere else in the way that we've covered them. That's the idea behind the off script. And one of the things that have warmed my heart the most is when we published the essay or the off script, and the person we talked to for the story comes back to tell us that thank you for publishing my story in this way. There was one we did recently with Miss Biola Alabi, and then I attended an event where she was speaking. She thanked us for doing that because it's sort of awakened a portion of her mind and her memories that had been dormant for so long. And then the presentation that she did that day was inspired by the conversation that she had with our team, Jolomi and Dami. Dami is up there, so you can't see him, but they are the two main analysts, the two people who work on the newsletter that you read every so often. So we've talked to over 30 people in the last 1 year. We've published over 25 of those profiles with a lot more to come. And then we've showed up in 3 African cities. Again, Communiqué IRL started in Lagos, but we thought the Lagos edition last year was so successful, we thought we can't keep this in one city and one country alone. So after Lagos in March last year, in August, we went to Nairobi. We had an even bigger event in Nairobi. And then in late October, early November, we went to Johannesburg and had an even bigger event than we did in Nairobi. In Johannesburg, we partnered with TikTok. In Nairobi, we partnered with the French Embassy. In Kenya and Somalia, and Alliance Francaise Nairobi as well. In Lagos, we partnered with the British Council, Filmmakers Mart, Rope, and we create for those editions. And I'm going to tell you a bit more about where we are going later this year. I'm really so excited. But essentially, we've taken one idea, and then we are taking it from one city to the other. Again, this is the part of our work that a lot of you don't see, but I want to introduce you to it. It's called Communiqué Advisory, and it's essentially our consulting arm. Over the last 1 year, we've worked with a lot of clients, but our major clients are the Sporty Group. So how many people saw this For Everybody campaign that happened earlier this year with Burna Boy and all the African artists? So we were responsible for the Pan-African media relations for that. That campaign reached 80 publications. Thank you. Please, it's a big deal. Please put your hands together for us. Thank you. So that campaign reached about 80 publications across the continent. We were in West Africa, of course, East Africa, South Africa, Central Africa. That was all our hard work. And then we just recently completed an ecosystem mapping project with the Expertise France. So Expertise France is an agency of the French government in partnership with the European Union. The ecosystem mapping project was in Accra, where I will be next month to give a presentation on the final report of the project. And of course, we've worked with, thank you. And of course, we've worked with 885 Capital. So 885 Capital is the venture arm of owned by Sudeep Ramnamni and Jay Maktani, who are the co-founders of Wampe, early investors in Childec. And so we've helped with Pan-African communications and media monitoring for them as well. Again, these are just 3 projects or 3 clients that we've worked with over the last 1 year. There are a lot more of them, but I don't want to bore you with details. So again, this is the behind the scenes work that a lot of people don't see. Part of this is so now let's go to the intelligence part. So last year we worked with the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Economy. Let me catch my breath. And the National Council for Arts and Culture to produce to co-produce the first ever Nigerian Creator Economy Report. And I am delighted to announce to you, you'll be the first to hear it, that the 2026 edition is going to, yes, that is going to happen as well. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, it's going to be way more strategic. Yemisi shaking her head. I'm giving you work, Abi. Yemisi is our research lead, so please put your hands together for her. And then also we've we've released the second edition of the Africa Creator Economy Report. Again, all of these reports are labors of love in many ways, but they are necessary so that we can quantify, right, and map this ecosystem, make it easier for investors, make it easier for creators like you to understand what the industry really is all about, and to make it easier for the policy makers as well, because we don't want them shooting in the dark, right? We don't want them creating policies that end up harming us. We want them to make informed decisions. So that is why we do the work that we do. Then, of course, we worked with Placard to release the impact report from for policies by the Nigerian Communications Commission, which, of course, their work impacts the digital economy, as you know. And then we worked with Apollo Ventures on the African Creators Summit, the business day of it. Perle was there. She spoke. But so there is the public day, which a lot of people are aware of. Then there was the business day, which was invite only. And we worked with ACS on that. So again, in terms of intelligence, this is some of the work that we have been doing behind the scenes that not many people know about. And then, so this website, this is what our website used to look like. This is representative of where we were. I built this website on Squarespace myself. I was trying to get designers to help us build a website, and they were calling, we are a startup, we don't have the kind of money that you're looking for. And so we've gone from this to this. And I'm glad to tell you that I built this myself, by the way, with Claude and Netlify. But it's so much better, it's so much more responsive, it's a better representation of where we are as a brand. What you'll notice is that in the previous slide, I was front and center. on the first page. And now, this is faceless in a way because it represents where we are now. We are a community brand. It's no longer driven by one person, right? It's driven by a collective. There is a large team behind Communiqué. We are 11 on the team, by the way. And some of them are here. Please put your hands together for them. And they are the reason why we are able to keep doing this thing that we are doing in the way that we do it. But we're not done yet. We have something that, for the first time, ever. Now, I need to give context. Last year in March, how many people remember when we released the African Creative Economy Database? You remember when we launched it? People have been asking us, what is the next step? Where is this going? What's the idea behind it? And now, I'm ready to introduce you to what's the next stage of the African Creative Economy Database is. Roll. And so, all the hard work that we've put into building the database, you can scan this QR code right now, and it will take you directly to the Communiqué OS landing page where you can sign up for the wait list. And essentially, the idea behind Communiqué OS is very simple. For so long, the excuse has been, we don't know who is building what, we don't know where the industry is going, we don't have data, we don't have this, we don't have that, blah, 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 blah. All right, no problem. We've done the dirty work of gathering the data, of helping structure the industry for the people who invest the capital, so investors, for the people who make the policies, so policymakers, but even more importantly, for you, the creators and the creative entrepreneurs. You need, for instance, one of the biggest challenges that we have is sometimes we don't know where to find the right opportunities. Is that correct? We don't know which documents we even need. We don't have access to lawyers. We don't have access to certain things. So when the OS is finally live, there is a creators hub, which first of all gives you an ecosystem overview. So you start by knowing where the industry is. What is it that I should be looking at? Where should I be paying attention? And then you have all the documents that you need as a creator to build your business on one platform. So you don't need to go to a lot of places. You have everything on one platform. Then you have access to the people who will give you the opportunities, the funders, grants, and all of those things on one platform. But even beyond that, there is a content hub where all the work that we've done over the last 6 years now lives in real time. It's always changing, but there is intelligence and playbooks that help you strategize. Again, as a creator, these are the things that you need to build a serious business. People are always saying, creators don't have this, creators don't have that. We don't think about what creators don't have. Our responsibility is to make those things available to you in a way that is accessible. So, Communiqué OS is not subscription-based. I think that's the first thing that you need to know. It's not subscription-based. Instead, it is a pay-as-you-need. So if you need something, all you need to do is buy tokens, buy credits, and then all of that is expended. So for instance, if you don't need to use it today, you don't have to pay. And that's one of the things, that's one of the greatest barriers to adoption across the continent, because we think everything must be subscription-based. We don't agree with that idea. we think that you give people what they need, ask them to pay when they need it. That is more aligned with how we, as Africans, spend. Is that correct? So that is the idea behind Communiqué OS. You can sign up to join the waitlist now. And then one of the things that you should know is once you sign up, you see it on the website, you get 50 credits immediately once we launch. You get 50 credits immediately to try it out however you want. Just experiment, and then if it sticks, you know that you have something incredible on your hands. Fantastic? Is that good? Okay. All right. One more thing that we want to do. Debbie, do I have permission to go ahead?
Before you go ahead, do we have questions? Does anyone have questions? We want to take questions very quickly.
Okay, we can take 2 questions.
Okay, I see a hand over there.
Okay.
Any other questions?
One at the back.
One at the back.
Okay,
also.
we have 3. All right, we'll take 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right. My name is Mujib. So I'll short of what I'm doing is I'm a creative designer, but by the side I'm building something like Communiqué for comics and animation in Africa.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, I wanted to ask, like, okay, perhaps you can give us an overview of how you had this idea and how you thought of, going about it.
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
It's a very long thing. It's a long conversation, but thank you. It's a good question. Thank you very much. And I hope that we can answer it during the panel discussion.
Hi everyone, my name is Vania and I have a creative community. So my question is concerning the software. Are there like metrics that brands can track for creators? Like for instance, like the major concern for creators is their sales. I work with an influencer. They're able to drive not just engagement and virality, but they're able to also drive sales. So is there a way that your software can track that?
Not yet, because that's an entirely different conversation from this. This is about access to knowledge, right, and insights. It's very, very specific to that. Now, there are a lot of things that we can build, and I can assure you there's more that we've had to leave out in building out Communiqué OS than we've had to put in. So it's all about focus. But I also know that there are brands that are building, I think, in some way, maybe Seller has metrics that can help, and the CEO of Seller is here, Douglas. Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot, is here, right? But there are platforms like Seller that can give you some sort of metrics. Once you sign up and you use them frequently enough, they can give you some sort of metrics that can help with that. But it's not something that Communiqué OS is doing right now, because our focus is on helping creators, yes, but at the same time, it's also on helping the investors and the policymakers, the researchers, to make better informed decisions about the ecosystem. I hope that helps. All right, thank you guys so much. I've done more talking than I planned to do. And then we have one more thing that we want to do, right?
Yes, very important.
Okay, so again, our biggest priority at Communiqué is community. And if you interact with us frequently via the newsletter, if you go to the newsletter, for instance, you see that I personally reply almost every comment. Community is important to us. On social media, we respond to people a lot because community is important to us. And now, there are a lot of people who are so actively involved in our community, but we want to appreciate one person who stands out. So for this person does not know or did not know that we are going to do this. There is someone who is always engaging with our material online, always responding to comments, always sharing our posts. A lot of people do it, but there's one person who does it better than any other person. Internally, we consider her Communiqué's biggest community member. And please join me to put your hands together for Anita. She didn't know we were going to do this. Anita, please put your hands together for her. Please come up stage. Come up stage. We have something for you. We have something for you. Please, guys, come on. Please put your hands together. You have to do better than that. Anita, I don't know how to. I don't know how to thank you. I don't know how to thank you because, again, we see how much Communiqué means to you. We see it, and we want you to know, and as a team, we want you to know that we appreciate you. We are so grateful to have someone like you in our corner, where there is, like, no matter what, even when we put out the posters for this event, Anita was the first person to comment, like, I'm coming, this. So we thank you so much. And as a token of our appreciation, we have a very, very small gift box for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please, can we take
Please
pictures?
put your hands together for her. And pictures, please.
Yep.
All right.